The big day is approaching when we will be able to see the second season of Alchemy of Souls. Fans of the series are both excited and anxious because they want to know what will happen with this great story. We know that in the recent trailer many things were presented that left us with our mouths open. Jin Moo specifically talked about the plan he has, and Jang Wook expressed that he can no longer tolerate the ice stone. Thanks to this trailer, we can draw some theories that might happen in this new season. That's why I'm going to talk about Naksu will fooled on Jang Wook. But first, remember to subscribe to this channel and activate the notification bell to be among the first to see our content. We know that at the end of the first season things happened that we didn't expect. When finally, Jang Wook and Mudok were going to rebuild their life, Jin Moo appeared and ruined their plans. When Naksu was a little girl, she saw her dad being killed in front of her. She could see that the four most important families were there. But above all, she saw that Park Jin was the one who used his sword to end her father's life. After that, Jin Moo realized that she was alone and decided to adopt her. But we know that according to the story, Jin Moo's intentions were not good, as he instilled in her a thirst to avenge her father's death. Although we don't have many details of what people Naksu knew besides Jin Moo and Yul, we believe that she was raised away from society and was in training to develop her mage powers and fighting skills well so that she could one day avenge her father's death. We saw a scene where Naksu appears talking to a man, and we can see that it is Jin Moo, and we know that he was always filling her head with arguments for her to have as a goal, to be able to finish the people who did that to her father, but especially to Park Jin. That's why we see in the first chapters where Naksu is fighting Park Jin, but he throws an arrow at her and hurts her, and that's why she had to change her body, and that's when her soul passed to Mudok's body. With this, we know that Jin Moo has been using her from the beginning, and she didn't know anything until she later found out that Jin Moo had bad intentions. The last episode of Season 1 we saw how Jin Moo came up with the idea of using sorcery to be able to enter Naksu's mind. But why did he do this if he knew that Jang Wook and Mudok, who is Naksu, were going to leave and go away from everyone? What trouble could he cause to some people that he wouldn't have to see them? Well, we know that Jin Moo is envious and greedy, and he only cares about his own benefit and power. He did the witchcraft to Mudok because he knew that in that body lived Naksu, and she knew many things about him, so it was not convenient for him that she was still alive, and we add that Mudok reflected that she could have the ice stone. He also wanted to kill Jang Wook because he knew that he was the person with the king's star energy. So it doesn't suit him to have someone so powerful alive. For that reason, Jin Moo uses sorcery to make Mudok kill specific people. One of them was Utak and Jang Wook, and in the end herself, because she was going to be petrified. Jin Moo used bells that hypnotized Mudok and allowed her to follow his instructions. Apparently Jin Moo will use another method to do the same thing she did in Season 1. In the trailer, we see Jin Moo tell Go-won, "Don't worry about Jang Wook, he is someone with the energy of heaven, just think of him as a tool you can use. I can call from death Naksu one more time." While an image of a jar that apparently may contain a powder or ashes is presented. Then Jin Moo thinks it has to shake Jang Wook. Then images of him holding the jade are seen, and he apparently meets Naksu in the forest. Images are also presented where Naksu is seen in the forest as disturbed. So it is very likely that Jin Moo is using some of Naksu's own ashes to do some kind of sorcery and can control her mind. Recall that Jin Moo was the one who had her body burned, so it wouldn't be surprising if he kept some of her ashes. But it could also be a simple powder for witchcraft. The most important thing is to know that in this new season Jin Moo will use Naksu to make Jang Wook suffer in order to eliminate him. Another image that was presented in the trailer was when Naksu is talking to Jang Wook and tells him that he has a very nice stone, referring to the ice stone, and then he asks her how she knows he has that inside him. We also saw that he was asking Park Jin for advice and told him that he can take off the ice stone because it was too strong for him, and Park Jin said that if he does that he will die. Now the only way for Jinmoo to win in this whole thing is not so much by eliminating Naksu or Jang Wook, but by getting the ice stone, which has always been his main purpose. For that reason he has to make Jang Wook fall in love with Naksu so that then out of love he will give her the ice stone. Now, why does Naksu need the ice stone? Well, according to the images we saw, she has part of her body that is petrifying, and apparently she wears a bracelet to prevent that. She may also want it because she will become powerful and have eternity. But if we remember that Naksu lost her memory, why would she want something that he doesn't really know? So that's why it's believed that Naksu tells all this to Jang Wook to convince him to give her the ice stone because otherwise she might die. And of course, if he falls in love, it's something he would do. We add that Jang Wook feels guilty because Mudok passed away, so it wouldn't cost him so much to give something so valuable to the one he loves, no matter that it symbolizes him passing away. But there is a theory that it may be that the soul that is inhabiting Naksu's body is Buyon's soul and not Naksu's soul. If true, this will change things. Because it may be that she lost Naksu's memory, but Buyon's memory is intact, and she is pretending that she does not recognize anyone to finally take revenge on Jinmoo. Let's remember that Jinmoo threw Buyon into the lake because of the ice stone, and maybe Buyon is not so much interested in love, but in revenge, and by that means she uses the ice stone to eliminate Jinmoo. We must remember that it wouldn't be the first time Buyon does something specific for her benefit. Or at least we think so. When Naksu was going to change the body, she suddenly realized that she was in the weak body of a blind woman, which was Buyon's or Mudok's body. When Buyon did this, she did not ask Naksu if she wanted to do it, she just did it. Also, once Choyeon told Mudok that her sister Buyon had some powers like a priestess and that she could control souls until they remain helpless. So it's very likely that Buyon is controlling Naksu's soul, and just in this new season the roles are reversed. We will see Buyon managing Naksu's body, while in the first season we saw Naksu managing Buyon's body. What do you think of this theory? Leave your comment here so we can read it. If you like this channel, remember to subscribe and like this video.